Hello. This is, I suppose, some sort of experimental stream. I am technically an artist, and therefore I technically have the ability to do an art stream. I don't know who, authorizes that sort of thing. But I also have to choose whether or not to tag a stream as art or Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions, which is what's going on over here. So let me explain a little bit if you're unfamiliar. Yeah, okay, that's fair. So here we have various things going on. So over here, there's this game called Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions. And you can pet a rabbit in it. But more importantly, less importantly, so the way this works basically is it's a tool for doing stuff like to-do lists, timers, tracking your habits, writing in a journal, etc. And also it allows you to customize an avatar and a cozy space for them to be in while music plays that is allowed to exist on streams. So really they're encouraging me to try this, I suppose, because this is stream safe music. But the general idea is that this is to be used as a tool or game or experience or whatever you would like to call it that could help you relax or concentrate or work on stuff or what have you. So we're doing a little experiment to see how this goes if I stream this and art. But as just a brief overview of what's going on in the video game, first of all, here's my character. She doesn't have a name at this time, but you can adjust your position in the room or see a full view of it. You can adjust what task your character is doing, depending on the location. You can see them doing something like playing a match 3 puzzle game with keyboard and mouse, which sounds like a very strange choice to me. You can relax on the bed. The bunny also games. Highly important detail. You've also got the spirit decks. There are various spirits to acquire, and they all have little, ones you haven't seen yet are like hints. During lightning storms, I've noticed the lights flicker in strange patterns, so I've set the ambience to be like lightning storms right now. And so the spirit is being lured, so we'll see that eventually. But yeah, you can change time of day, you can change ambience, you can choose music playlists that they've got. You can change what the room looks like in various ways. There's a lot of options. You can change what your character looks like in a lot of ways. There's a lot of options. But yeah, so that's what Spirit City is. It's very pleasant. I'm experimenting to see if this will help me. I suppose you could probably argue that it already has. Meanwhile, over here, we have the art program that I use with a transparent sucro for scale. And for scale, I mean as reference, because I wanted to make little mem cakes of various characters. Earlier, I made one of Harper, for example, from the PSO2 NGS stuff. In theory, I would eventually want to, we go back over here for a second. Oh. Okay, it's only on the starting student screen. I forgot a detail. That's fine. Eventually, I think I would like to replace all the character art on this screen with the little mim cakes to like save space and allow for more characters to be there. Because I'm running out of room, and I keep playing video games where I customize a character. Fancy that. So, I have on my to-do list in the video game several of the characters I intend to draw. I don't know if I'm going to draw more or less than this. So, I guess I'll just draw stuff. Or something. That's the point of the thing, after all. So there's also a Pomodoro timer in here. And I didn't really understand what that was until like yesterday. You set a time for like how long you want to work and then how long you want breaks. You set how many of these sets of work and break you want, and then you press the timer. This was invented by someone who had a tomato clock or something, I guess. One of my small criticisms with this game, which I did mention to them in their survey that they asked me to take, is that the timer has some scary noises associated with it, kind of. They feel rather dramatic. It's a little bit dramatic anyway. I guess I'll put this like over here or something. And now for my horribly inefficient and slow art process, whatever that is. First of all, Vi's over here. None of these... Oh god. This is like my old file of Vi, using this to extract colors. And now, let's, you know, see what happens. Gotta open up some reference images on my other monitor. I feel like I kind of need 3 monitors at this point for this specific setup, but that would also be entirely unnecessary, generally. Also, for the record, I lowered the volume of the Pomodoro sound effect by a significant margin, so normally it's way louder than that as well. Anyway, let's see how this goes. I guess I'll be drawing art. Hooray. Which is going to mean a lot of undoing. This is a little bit awkward for me with how I've set this up. Primarily because I have this smaller area of the screen to work with. Vi's head is not that square. It's pretty square, but it's not that square. That's probably closer. The funny thing about the Mimcake art style and the way that I do it, as it were, is you don't really need to worry about making it too exact or anything. And also, like, it's going to look... I'm also going to infuriate any artists by making a whole bunch of layers that I don't bother naming. It's going to look way better, like, after it's all done and I apply the effects to it to give it, like, the texture. It'll look kind of scrungly for a bit. Like, you can see over here the, like, the noise texture added to it and the little border. That's really the part that, like, completes it, I guess. But yeah, I just sort of, you know, do stuff. I don't know if I was intending to attempt to explain my artistic process or just demonstrate it experimentally. But I guess the idea behind this concept is, like, it gives viewers a nice thing to look at. It's something somewhat relaxing, perhaps. Something we can chat while it is ongoing. Or not, depending on how everyone decides to do stuff. And, you know, just if my mission statement is to provide some sort of chill, cozy environment, this is like the optimum version of that. Now, at some point, I could just, I guess for accuracy, I can just copy the colors. Why not? Also, me choosing to draw a Vi Memcake for this stream in particular is a little bit funny, because that forces me to actively acknowledge that Vi exists and is my creation, which is like obvious, but also like part of the idea was like the opposite of that. You were supposed to buy into the illusion. I feel like if Vi commissioned me, I wouldn't need to respect that deal, right? Because, like, she hacked my stream. In theory, anyway. As an artist, I should respect myself more than that. It is still weird for me to think of myself as an artist, truthfully. Something about attempting to draw her in this sort of style has, like, Bomberman vibes to me right now. That seems right. How do I wanna... I think I'll do this. I guess she always kind of had a little bit of a Bomberman vibe. Then yeah, that's true. She probably would do that. So the Harper Memcake that I showed is also something I drew while using this program with the timer and all that. So that seems promising for, like, the utility of this sort of thing in my mind. That'll work. Theoretically, I could also set up streams like this while working on stuff like video game or other art or video game art, sprites and whatnot. If I do that at some point anyway. Or even if I don't stream, I can use the program. That's the miracle of technology. Possible I should have tried to draw the hair first, but we'll see. I'll manage, probably. Just fill in the back part of the hair later. The front piece of hair will probably be a different shade, just for, like, consistency. Surprised it's already later. There's something fun about drawing stuff in a really small resolution as well. I don't know why. Actually, most of the hair needs to be behind. Like, all of this. Multiple hair layers are required. I'll figure the sides out first. Let me scoot Vi's face over a little bit. Honestly, might need to make it a little larger. Sucro's face was larger. That's what the reference thing is for, is mostly like vague consistency with regard to like the proportions of the style, I guess. That's what I'm going for there. Yeah, that'll work. Wait. I was drawing on the wrong layer. No! It happens to all of us. I fixed it. It is not a problem. I suppose that's a benefit of working in a small resolution, is that stuff like that is easier to fix. So that's Vi's face. Now, I also tend to merge layers more than might be reasonable to do. I'll hold off for a second. Some might say that's not a good way to be able to, you know, fix things at a later time. And that would be correct, probably. But also, don't have much of a defense for my actions. This is a slightly lighter color. I guess that'll probably work. Generally, I try to, in this sort of like lineless thing that I'm doing here, I try to distinguish layers with different shades, mostly. But honestly, I might not actually want to for this piece of hair. So maybe I'll just make it the same shade, actually. And like, even this part out a bit. Yep, that's why. That's why, alright. Now, one feature of how I do these, I usually end up scaling the parts that I draw. And like, I honestly do this a little bit on purpose for these so that they get fuzzier. That is an intentional choice. In order to like, it's basically like adding blur to something a little bit. I actually need to draw above that layer, at least temporarily. Grab red. Now we gotta configure Vi's torso to fit the space. I suppose. I think it needs to be more distinct color than that. That's a folder. That's nothing. And over here. I can tell you that I feel relaxed right now. If that's anything. I did not draw that on another layer. I'll move this a little bit. Oh right, these aren't gray. Her arms are like a light red and lavender striped pattern. Some of this, seeing as how I don't have like full body color art for Vi technically, is a little bit improvised. Yeah, I don't think I've decided what color her hands are technically, but they're probably just gray. Maybe. Isn't that sharp? Another great thing about drawing in this sort of scale is that I don't have to try and put details on hands. I'll draw the outline in with this color, at least. No, never mind. I'll just do the arm first. There's an inconsistency in the number of striped areas, I think, between art. Oh well, whatever. No, that's actually right. Vi is the sort who doesn't need to be drawn on model all the time. If there even is such a thing. I don't have to draw details on hands, I say, trying to make the tiny amount of pixels exactly correct. Right, let's... this might be interesting. Just to make it brighter. Also, I should say this is like, you know, a Vi thing. Oh, she's done this pose before. There were the little dancing Vi gifs. That's what I'm using the pose of. That was me remembering the input of a different art program that I also use. In Paint.net, if you hold Shift while using the scroll wheel, it scrolls horizontally. This is not the case in Clip Studio Paint. So, this... Actually, that's fine, I think. I think this is... But wait, I have to take a 5-minute break now. Let me just erase this one line. 5-minute break time. One of the key components of the Pomodoro method, as I understand it, is no sneaky working. Was a specific way that I saw it explained. Ideally, one would stand up and stretch and so on. But hey, a spirit was lured. We can show this part of the game. There's a funny creature. Bulby. Lightning storms are known to lure out bulbies, a rare treat for spiritographers to document these otherwise elusive spirits. When lights flicker during a thunderstorm, it is often caused by bulbies flying between light sockets collecting energy like bees collect pollen. Their bulbs grow brighter as more energy is stored, and once it's at its limit, they return to their hives. I'd love a chance to study their hives and find out how their society works, but researchers have yet to encounter one. While we're here, we'll use this 5-minute break to look at all the various spirit companions a little bit. The game is not really designed to be cropped in this way necessarily. Here's Lenny. Lenny is given the pronouns he, they. Lenny is more of a character, relatively. None of the other ones are actually given pronouns. Dust Bunny. Hedgelog, I believe. I don't remember the names of all of them, but there's a funny fish. There's Early Burb. There's a chapter pillar. There's a funny teapot. There's a trash nuki. A tanuki that's like in your garbage. Moonpaw. Funny dog. Arachnid. Funny spider. I already forgot your name. There is a slime that ate your stapler, and now Bulby is here. What color options do you have? Ooh. Gamer, a little bit. They have a lot of nice color options scattered about. This is expensive, but it's nice. This is our creature friend now. And each little creature, well, sometimes does different things for different activities. Looks like Bulby doesn't particularly do much, but that's okay. Some of them do, some of them don't. You just sort of hang out. Sometimes a creature just sort of hangs out. That's okay. I should probably try meditation or something again. So, at this point, we don't really have any needs for the ambience. So, we're not trying to unlock anything. So I'll change it up a little bit. Let's see. How about... I don't know, there's a little snow, a little fireplace noise. Sure. I have to move this. And we have various other options for music as well. What is it actually playing? Oh, it's playing Tranquil Wonderland. Even though it just stopped raining. Let's go to this other playlist. Oh, I guess that would make sense. A fun detail is that some of these, like, if you lower the snowstorm all the way, the snow stops and, like, falls, and then, like, the more you have of the ambience, the greater the effect for some of these. It's a nice touch. Let's go over here. Now it's time to work again. Back to work I go. As we relax by the fireplace. One of the features they're considering adding in the future, I believe, is a customizable like accessories like this laptop here. I am not actually capable of customizing the appearance of this laptop. I almost tried to do the shift and scroll button again. It's incorrect. It's not how it works. All right. The current DLC they are working on will add a kitchen to the house, so you can have your character doing various kitchen related activities and include various kitchen related sound effects and whatnot. If stirring soup or like bubbling soup or whatever is your jam, then that might be weird because soup is not a jam. I'm pretty sure that that's just not the food group that it's in. I say as if jam is a food group that exists. I know that one of the spirits they're adding to that group is also like a capybara made of bread with a little butter on his head. So that's pretty good. Good to think about. Oh yeah, I think the capybara is just called Capybun. But I did find a store on DoorDash that was listing macaroni and cheese as a soup. And I believe that that is... Well, I'm not really sure how to feel about it. I feel like, depending on some factors and how insistent you wanted to be, I feel like you could maybe get away with classifying macaroni and cheese as a soup. If you had to. You know? Like, I don't know what scenario would require you to do this. But possibly some scenario out there somewhere. She's doing the pose now. Let me touch this up a little. So how do we feel about this general idea of stream so far? This feels like it would work as like a thing that I did, I suppose. It seems like a nice idea. There aren't a ton of people around at the moment, but that's fine. I'm only saying that because, like, I can't get a whole lot of opinions as a result, but hopefully an enjoyable concept, if nothing else. I feel like the game is designed to encourage this, because, like, this is stream-safe music explicitly. Actually not sure how I feel about this little gap in the hair there. I'll leave it. It's not exactly the layout of the hair, but I wanted to touch it up a little bit. But that, like, gives enough of the impression of it being layered without the colors being different. And that's acceptable. Alright, we've got the upper torso here. Classic body part. Shuffle things around a little. Now, the lower part. See, that was me doing it again. In this program, shift rotates. I can make Vi rotate whenever I want to. That's what she gets, I guess. So, something I noticed about memcakes, or at least the way I've been doing, like, the memcake style, quote unquote, like, the lower portion of the body is very squanched, if you will, which is definitely a word. Like, we can see here in the Harper one, like, this part is her legs and feet, compared to, like, the arms and the torso. They seem to be
squanched.
True. They seem to be proportionally smaller most of the time. So, like, this is probably correct. Yeah. But often that means I gotta fit a lot into a small space, I guess. But this is, yeah, that's what I feared. I'll make this darker. Her hand is not standing out too much here. See what I can do about that. There, that's better. At least a little bit. Maybe make that particular hand a little bit lighter, because it's in the foreground. And that's apparently how I've decided to do things. Not that much lighter. That actually blends in more. Could make it darker instead. Maybe her hands are, maybe she's got gloves on. I don't know. Could just give in and add a little bit of shadow even though these don't really do shading. In like the same way. Shading is something I think I will never fully understand. I just sort of improvise a lot of the time, to be honest. I'm gonna leave that line out as well. Should be a belt. The fun thing about art is that if you like make up a nonsense solution to a problem, you invent your own solution for something, that's just your art style now. You can do anything that you want to and just say that it's your style. Sometimes it's neat to do things quote unquote incorrectly. It's got a little buckle here. But that's covered up, I think, so. And yep. Gotta make room for her feet, which are also not officially colored. That's probably just another darker color of this. I don't quite know how to portray this pose in this limited amount of space. This is the wrong layer again. Caught it that time. I can adjust the pose. This is a possible feature. Or, whatever. I can just say she has red boots now. You know what? She has red boots now. Her boots match her torso. Upper. I should color this in first so I can change the color. It's the wrong layer again. That's... oh, I have transparency. Because I took the color from the wrong layer. That's... sometimes an art program is a mystifying thing. Her legs have been depicted, just not in a colored way. A way that has color in it, I mean. Because she has the little dancing gif. I'm just gonna say she's not doing the leg part of this pose. Like, I don't know if I can... it sort of gets the general idea across. If this foot over here is a little more vertically angled. It's just happening under this skirt. Yeah, that's like a standing pose version of it, probably. I feel like her arms are even longer than other mem cakes have been. I can adjust this by making her torso smaller. Yeah, there we go. I can do something like that to convey the idea. That's probably good. And then, make the boots a little bit fuzzier. And we can't forget the tail. That's also important. That could be over here. And that'll be a lighter blue, I think. Yeah, so it stands out and all that. Easy. A normal shape. Somewhere like that. And hey, I think that's Vi, basically. Here she is. She doesn't have a lot of super complicated details everywhere. We can add a few more. Her skirt was pleated a little bit. I'm giving in. I'm adding a little bit of shading just to make the arm obvious. An acceptable sacrifice. I'll add a little bit over here too. Or rather, a little bit of shadow, I suppose. Now, she has her name written on her torso here, but I don't know how, if I can manage to... Just looks like a W. Okay. Sacrifice detail. Just put 3 little marks there. That works better, I think. I get the spacing on them right. See, now that I started adding shading, I want to keep doing it. At least a little bit, or rather, shadow. Just to separate parts out more. This is not really a thing with memcakes, generally. That's how I will distinguish this part. Lewis is barking somewhere. You can just think of that as an additional bit of ambient noise in the background of the soundscape. Or something like that. Now that is vibe, I think. Probably. Research seems to indicate that this is why. Hello. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of an experimental art stream sort of situation. Along with cozy vibes-based productivity. What's it? Man, this glove really doesn't stand out still. What if I do this? There we go. That's something. Just lighten it a bit. Dang it, I don't need to add more shading. Shadow. I keep doing it though. Sort of just a test of the idea of using this relaxing video game thing that is meant to be used as like a background focusing relaxing situation. Testing the idea of doing streams of that and drawing stuff or working on things. I think it's pretty good so far. I think this works. Yeah. Now, the thing is, one, the game is going to make me take a break in a second. Two, I haven't made Paint.net capture yet. Now, I know that the whole purpose of Pomodoro is no sneaky working when this timer runs out here in a second. Five-minute break, but I want to at least figure this out a little bit. Just a bit. Let's see. Paste. I never remember the difference between paste reference and paste duplicate in OBS, and I wish they were named something clearer than that. So, here's Paint.net. Okay, this is actually a different thing. That's correct. Why is it not showing anything though? Does Paint.net not like capture correctly? It would appear that you cannot capture Paint.net. Well, that's fine. You'll just have to wait and see the end result in Paint instead. You can behold the current form of Vi for a second while I apply stuff. Because I gotta add the, I'm doing this during the break, I'm breaking the law. Whatever. I gotta add, the little effects to this. So what I do for these, I can at least narrate it, is in Paint.net, I simply go to the filters, or the effects rather. There is a noise tab. I go to add noise. Color saturation 0, coverage 100, intensity 25. And then I use a downloaded thing that I have, outline object. I angle it to like somewhere between 30 and 45, negative 30, negative 45 degrees. So there's a softness and a width slider. I don't remember the exact numbers and values that I used, but I try to give them like a small gray outline that is angled towards the bottom left, basically. And I think I actually need to actually go into, yeah, basically, I need to go into Clip Studio Paint over here. Oop, and make Vi a little bit smaller. Then reopen this, reapply the noise. This is because the border was like going off screen basically. You know, I could have just paused the break timer, I guess. And... let me see if I can... figure out exactly what... I should probably like record somewhere the settings I use for consistency, but I don't need them to be entirely consistent. Timer noise is still a little bit concerning. Check the hey, I got I got some kind of weird consistency. Unintentionally. But yeah. Save. I believe that's spy. And now... oop, by the way, if you didn't see it earlier, here's one for Harper that I did earlier today, using this program in the background. And now we can open the actual Vimem cake. Ta-da! There she is. With the fuzz and the border added. These are fun to make. I feel like you can... this might be a good example of how I feel like they look better once you add all the stuff, the final touches. Yeah, mem cakes are like... they're based on little, what are they called? Like fish pastes things? Yeah, like a little cured seafood fish paste product. They also resemble little erasers of types. Thank you for petting Calico. But yeah. So now... well, skip current timer, I guess, because that's done. So that one actually took me a lot less time than Harper for some reason. Perhaps increased efficiency. We can go back over here. To-do list. Ta-da! I did it. Oh, and if you weren't here earlier, we can go through this little program a little bit. Again. This is a Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions. It's a very cute little thing that you can mess around with. You can customize your character. There's a variety of clothing. I should also mention, tons of pride options. I'll get back to that in a second. There's also a lot of funny little creature of all kinds of variety. This is the creature we've most recently obtained. I highly recommend this. Like, I only just got it, and I can't say for sure if it's helped my productivity or not, but I like observing it and it makes me feel happy. So that's good. That's the wardrobe again. So you can adjust your decor. This is how I've adjusted my room. You've got like the general stuff. You've got the desk. We've got the gamer nook over here, including like wall decorations and all that. The first like 3 to 4 hours of this thing were just me messing with the customization as I unlocked stuff. Like, I didn't actually get to the productivity part for a significant amount of time, and I feel like that's probably a good sign. So yeah, I've gone with some sort of like purple gamer witch aesthetic for this character, whoever she is. The funny thing is, if this becomes a more regular thing, I feel like I'll need to make a mem cake of this character. You can adjust the scenery, curtains, cushions, etc. Here is the main thing. I said there's a lot of pride flags and pride stuff. There's a mug for everybody. Well, maybe not literally everybody, but there's a lot. I don't actually know what all of these pride flags are. But yeah, there's like pride, trans pride, ace pride, bi, non-binary. One of the lesbian ones, yeah. I don't remember what this is. The orange into blue and black. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what that is. This is the arrow one. Don't remember what this is either. I think this is like intersex, I think. Some of these I see a lot more commonly than others, so you'll have to forgive me. This is pan. You have the autism spectrum, rainbow infinity here, the neurodiverse one. And I don't think this last one is anything. I think this is just a nice mug. But I couldn't tell you for sure. Or you can have ramen, you know. But yeah. Oh, and another good example, beverage drinker pride. Another good example. It's not the same as pride, but it's still nice that they have this in here. One of the gesture options at the bottom here is wheelchairs. These are available by default and don't need to be purchased. Arrow Ace spec alternative. Okay, so they're okay. Yeah. I thought it was something like that. Do you know what the one that's orange and blue and black is? Like orange on the top, then white, then blue, then black? Is that like genderqueer maybe or something? What is the genderqueer flag? No. That's purple, white, green. There's a lot of these, which is good. Everyone deserves these. Oh. I thought you were saying that this other one. Okay. I think you might... Yeah. I'd forgotten. This is... Okay, yeah, that's not black, that's like a navy blue. This is Arrow Ace. Or one of the Arrow Ace flags. What's this other one that is pink, white, purple, black, blue? This sort of thing is important to know. Oh, there are some other ones elsewhere too. Oh, this is gender fluid. That's the gender fluid pride. Got it. And yes, the ring here is intersex. Yeah. The thing with pride flags is that they all have really nice colors, generally. I don't remember where it was. I think it might be in the socks. There's a lot of pride socks specifically as well. Like I've got the trans pride ones here. Yep. Yeah. They put some additional pride flags in this section that were not in the mugs. The trans flag is kind of Garrett. Well, I like the color scheme of it. I respect your opinion. Let's see, what are these other... Like this here, this is like demisexual, yes. So that's another one. According to this list I'm looking at, this is... Oh wait, hold on. Is that correct? Yeah, according to this list, this is the gay men's pride flag here. Yep, there's a lot of them. Oh, there's that one. There's the genderqueer one. And it's in the socks section. Arrow, ace, etc. I tend to like pastels and faded colors. I don't know if you could notice based on my character, but I also tend to like dark purples and stuff. But yeah, I intended this mostly as like a little test. Oh yeah, you can also, here's my full space. I should, in this little like segment, since I did the art thing I intended to do, I'm gonna demonstrate how this is the best game ever made. If you have the bunny and you set your activity to gaming, the bunny boops the little game system. Just booping the screen, having a great time, even though I don't know if that actually does anything to the game. You could assume perhaps that there's a touchscreen interface, but also maybe the bunny's just having a great time. There are other various, not all the spirits do stuff like this, but there are various ones. Does Lenny? Lenny is the only one with pronouns listed and a name instead of like a species name. He, they, by the way. I think, yeah, Lenny can game. Oh, right, yeah, the spider. Yeah. Lenny can game. I don't think the dog can game. No, the dog just take a snooze. You can pet them also. You can pet all of them. But yes, the arachnid here, also available in various rainbow colors. If they're gaming, they play 4 Game Boys at the same time. They're extremely talented. Very powerful spider. They're having a great time. I think the dog can keep going to the wrong menu. One thing the dog can do, I think, also multiple color options and whatnot. Friendly Satan dog, trans pride dog, corgi-ish dog, and so on. I believe the dog has the ability to read a book. Cannot read near the fireplace. Wait a minute. That's weird. I didn't think about that before. You can read by the bay window, though. Yeah, the dog read a book. It's a little obscured. Yeah, dog read a book. Very good. You know, I guess that's fair. This did remind me of another thing that the bunny can do. Keep going into the wrong menu somehow. If you are by the fireplace, and you are sipping a drink, the dust bunny has like a little button that they carry around, and they dip it in the little mug like it's a little cookie. Best game ever made. Can't argue with that. But yeah, there's also a variety of song playlists. I should probably mention that. I don't think I've actually listened to this one. You can adjust things like time of day. You can adjust the sounds that are happening, and like the ambience that you've chosen, like, and the intensity of it does actually affect some of the visuals sometimes, which is a very nice touch. There's like there's just a lot of charm to this game. Can this connect to internet radio stations or anything like that? Basically, yes. If you go to music and you scroll up here, there's other. You can then use you can just use a YouTube browser. You can just use YouTube within the game. It'll direct you to Homework Radio automatically, but I presume you can just search for anything. Yeah, this is absolutely relaxing music, especially at that volume. Just listen to whatever the heck you want, if you want to. The variety that is currently in the game is also pretty good. The spooky Halloween tunes are amusingly, like, grim, I guess. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for the audio of the YouTube tab. If this is the sort of music you relax to, you've got spooky core, I guess. You can call anything a music genre. But yeah, as far as ambience goes, rain, fireplace. Actually, that's activity, full view. Oh, you actually can't see. Since I have this at like half the screen instead of full screen at the moment, you cannot actually see that the record player that's over here somewhere lights up when you have vinyl noise. You got like fireplace, then you have like sizzling meat, keyboard noise, birds singing, white noise, pink noise, brown noise, cat noise. If you just want purring on loop, creek, ocean sounds. Some of the ones near the bottom don't change anything in the environment. Distant cityscape. Holiday music box? I mean, I guess you can turn down the music and just have that. We Wish You a Merry New Year's, my favorite song. But yeah, this was mostly intended as like a test sort of situation. I haven't listened to this one. So if this seems like a fun type of stream, then let me know, I guess. I think it worked out pretty well. I got a little bit of art done. This was meant to be just a shorter proof of concept, I suppose. But I think this might be a fun thing to do on a semi-regular basis. You'd enjoy more streams like this? All right. It was fun and you enjoyed it? All right. I'm glad to hear it. By the way, you level up in this based on daily login, daily tasks completion, and daily timer, and also by discovering new spirits. One thing I'd like to shout out about this game in particular, before we end, I suppose, The only other thing that is remotely similar to this that I've tried in the past is Habitica, which is a phone and browser-based app type thing, where you like put in tasks and stuff that you intend to do, and you have like a little pixel character who gets gear and equipment and does quests by completing tasks and whatnot. The thing with Habitica, outside of not really enjoying the art style of it, the thing with Habitica is it's weird to me. It actively penalizes you if you admit that you failed to complete a task. Like, for example, if you're like, I'm gonna stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then you didn't, you have to tell it that you didn't, or lie. And if you didn't do something, it actively like damaged your character. You could die, I think you could lose a level or something. And what's even stranger about it to me, as like a productivity type of app, not only does that part not feel good, it feels bad to like be penalized. The strange part to me is that as like a productivity app that is framed as an art, like with an RPG framework, you could choose the class that your character was, and they were the typical RPG fighter, rogue, cleric, wizard situation. If you were the tank of the group, you could, I think you were able to mitigate damage from penalties, and if you're the healer, you were able to mitigate damage from penalties by healing yourself. And I feel like it's really weird to me to have a productivity thing that penalizes you for admitting failure, but also has a mechanism for mitigating or sweeping under the rug that penalty, just by virtue of like the framing device of it. That's just really strange to me. But the point I'm ultimately getting to, other than that I prefer this over something like Habitica, is that this game does not penalize you ever for anything. Like, if I go over here, like I skipped the Pomodoro timer because I'd completed early. It didn't penalize me for that. There's a to-do list over here. You can set deadlines and stuff. I actually don't know what happens if you go past a deadline. It probably just tells you that you went past your deadline or something. So I assume it doesn't penalize you, but that would be like the only thing in this that approaches penalizing you, is an alert of your deadline going past you. And then like over here we have like a list of habits. Since I didn't show all these features, this also exists, I suppose. There's like the to-do list. You can separate it into multiple lists. You can order the categories and so on. There's the timer over here. You can adjust the length of sessions and the breaks and the number of sessions. Like this habits thing over here. This is the sort of thing that Habitica revolved around. And if you missed a day, like I have exercise set up for 5 days a week. I'm gonna try and be doing that. But like if I didn't exercise on Monday, for example, Habitica would deal damage to me. And this game would just be like, there's literally no interaction. You can check, you can uncheck, you can tell it you're not actually doing that on Monday. You just clear all check marks for the sake of when it's the next week, you do that. And I feel like that's a lot better than something that like forces you to admit that you failed according to your own parameters. You know? Feels a lot better. You can also add little journal entries and stuff, and there's like categories as suggestions if you want to journal like your mood or whatever. Here we have my free writing for day one, where I just mentioned that I spent the first 3 hours of this game customizing. I documented when I tried and failed to sleep due to insomnia, and I documented that I drew Harper. Anyway, hopefully this was a good overview of this program and a nice little chill, relaxing thing, and also me doing an art. I think I might want to do this sort of thing more often. I'd like to be able to like work according to a schedule and stream a variety of things. So I feel like in an ideal world, I would have a designated day of the week for this sort of thing. But we'll see what happens. Regardless, the only screen that I successfully put this on for the today's game one is starting soon because I forgot. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Samantha. A tool that's using gamification to help encourage you rather than a game that sort of absorbed a tool. But yeah. As far as these little mem cakes go, I guess I still have Capri, Jackie, Mystery, maybe like Knowing Way, Ghost, Craftly, and Blood to do. Yeah, it's the infinite expanse of the cosmos. It's relaxing. As far as characters that exist, anyway, I think I also intend to make one of Spark and also get back to Warframe. And if there are any other particularly noteworthy characters, since I'm gonna have more space once I convert everything into Memcake. Oh yeah, I have to do a Memcake poem for Vi now. I guess that's one thing I could do. Right before we leave here. I did actually write Memcake poems for Sucro and Harper. Just as a little fun thing. Since I did those two. Sucrose is, she says that she is just a cat while slaying gods with stoic nods. I think she may be more than that. And then the Harper one is, stuck in a world that's stuck in time. They celebrate their stagnant fate, but she's imprisoned by their crime. Can you tell that I wish that PSO2 NGS was a better game? Cause I do! And I'm sad that Harper is stuck in it. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'm glad that this seems to be a good idea, perhaps. I'm about to hit spirit level 13 actually, in the game. Yeah, well, okay, there are other MMOs that let you be a robot girl. You could be one in City of Heroes. Actually, before we go again, any second now this is going to take over and I can show you one other last bit of this game that was shown a little bit earlier. But I can show you how like the reward system works, I suppose, and collecting spirits and whatnot. This is a good Vi, I think. I'm satisfied with my work today. And I'm glad you like the poems. Yeah, if there are other characters that I made on streams that deserve a Memcake that I'm not thinking of, you can feel free to make suggestions. Spark Warframe is the main one I'm thinking about. Of the ones that I hadn't already decided to do. Yeah, it says here in very small font, earn EXP every minute and by discovering new spirits, so this looks like it's about to take over anyway. Buy a Memcake commission? I actually was kind of wondering if that would be something that anyone would be interested in. I don't know how much I would charge for one. I've documented in this stream how much time it takes me to make one. It's like 1 to 2 hours is probably a decent range of estimate. So I don't know like how much I would want to charge for that. I would consider it offering commissions. I'd be worried about disappointing people, I think. $20+ based on complexity. Come on. Take over already. Also, they sleep sometimes. Bunny do a nap. I think the spirit level goes up to like 50. There it is. So yeah, when you reach a new rank, you get 500 tickets, which you can use to buy customization items. At this point, I basically made my character and my room look how I want them to. So I'll just be hoarding these. But then also when you reach a new level, you'll have a new like little hint. This spirit haunts those who spend too much time procrastinating in bed. Gaming? Is gaming procrastinating? Yes. Browsing is also. Reading is not. Reading is not procrastinating. The internet and video games, those are procrastinating. But yeah, if you have the conditions correct, the spirit dex will rotate. We'll have a little rotating circle around it. But we're not going to wait for that spirit to appear because it does take a while, and I did intend to end the stream. Regardless, I highly recommend this if you're looking for something to either just have as a relaxing thing to like look at, or like just a nice little pleasant character and room organizing / creating tool. Or if you want to use the productivity aspects, it all seems like it's pretty nice. And they're planning to add more. I mentioned earlier the next DLC, they're gonna start doing paid DLC, and the first one is like a kitchen being added to the house, including various kitchen activities and new food-themed spirits, like a capybara made of bread with butter on their head. It sounds like I'm advertising for the game and that I'm sponsored, but I promise you that I'm not. It'd be funny if I was, but I'm not. I'm just really enjoying this so far as like a thing that exists. But yeah. Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions is the name of the game / application. And Boreal Robin is the name of this Twitch channel that you're looking at. I should stop spinning my words around and wrap up, probably. So thank you all for watching. This has been, well, you already know because I just talked about it for like 50 years. And I hope you have a good rest of your day and or night. And I hope to see you again whenever and whatever the next stream is. Good night, everyone.